On Osrc News at 7, Ondo government to begin biometric verification of public servants. 2025 promotion exercise for 1,700 local government workers takes off in Ondo State. House of Representatives probes custom over smuggling allegations. And from the foreign scene, over 2,000 Syrian soldiers crossed into Iraq following the fall of Assad's government. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on OSRC television. My name is Oyewumi Ayenigbera. The Ondo State government says plans have been concluded to commence biometric verification of public servants towards streamlining its workforce and ensure accurate data on employee levels across the state civil service. This is one of the decisions taken at the State Executive Council meeting presided over by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. The head of service, Mr. Bayo Philip, while briefing Government House correspondent, stated that the verification exercise is aimed at enhancing efficiency in line with the governor's commitments to fiscal discipline.
Mr. Governor specifically directed the duo of the Honorable Commissioner of Finance and the Head of Service to undertake a biometric verification of all workers in the public sector of the state. I must emphasize that the essence of this verification is not to scare or frighten any public servant. There is no ulterior motive.
Mr. Governor, during the 5th convocation anniversary of UNED, University of Medical Sciences in Ondo, made a pledge to support the university in the construction of a Senate building. As you are aware, since inception of the university has not moved to the permanent site and the operating in the temporary site. The construction of this Senate building will open up the new permanent site and it will fulfill major requirements of the Nigerian University Commission. The ESCO approved a sum of 500 million naira to commence the construction of the Senate building and agreed and also approved that the balance of 500 million naira will be released as soon as the 2025 budget is passed into law.
This year's budget, as presented before the House by Mr. Governor, was aptly called budget of recovery and promises to galvanize all people, mobilize all resources internally and externally to create wealth and service of people. All the programs, the policies and the projects herein are all people-centric.
Prince Osia Julius Oladapo, former as the new Takumbe of the Epoke in several local governments. Prince Akiyomi Olasende John as Laragosin of Odiyasan in the local government area of Ondo State. Also, Prince Babatunde Michael Ayeyoma has been approved as the new Lumore of Ayeka, Nojopa local government area of Ondo State. The council also approved the appointment of Prince Oyetayo of Aye as the new Alaboto of Aboto in the Nigerian local government.
We have seen cases of cholera in the state, and everybody in the state needs to be informed.
we have to keep up every effort to be sure that we prevent Lassa fever and cholera spread within the state. So we want to encourage everybody, save water. Make sure that you drink water that is safe. Drink water that is properly treated, clean water, water that is free from contamination, good sources of water, and let's avoid contamination of our water bodies.
The Ondo State Local Government Service Commission has commenced its 2025 promotion exercise for the elevation of workers in the local government service. Chairman Ondo State Local Government Service Commission Femi Idris stated that 1,700 officers due for promotion are participating in the exercise. Joy Pius report that the exercise is being carried out in 5 centers across Ondo State.
Addressing the eligible officers before the commencement of the 2025 promotion exercise, Chairman, Ondo State Local Government Service Commission, Femi Idris, thanked the governor for the prompt approval of the promotion exercise, describing it as unprecedented. The chairman assured workers of continued financial backing attached to promotions, adding that the commission will continually motivate the workforce for optimal productivity.
Governor, His Excellency Lucky Orimisun Ayedatiwa, in respect of the directives that he has given to us that promotion for next year should be allowed to commence from the beginning of the year, and that the exercise should not be unduly delayed. In the past, promotion exercises were conducted midstream of the year or a few months into the year. But in this case, we have been directed that all exercise concerning promotion should be conducted and concluded before the commencement of the new year. So that is why we are here, and that is why we are appreciating him for these new directives.
He called on local government staff to be committed to duty to complement the efforts of the government.
My charge directly is that as workers, they should be dutiful, come to work regularly, do whatever assignment they are given rightfully, and also ensure that they lead wherever they find themselves properly.
Some of the workers commend the government for coming up with the exercise, expressing optimism of a great outcome.
We normally do this around April, May of certain year, but this one, the effective date for this promotion will commence from January 2025. So we really commend the government and the people of Local Government Service Commission for their encouragement, for giving us this great opportunity to come and do this thing here.
What made this year promotion exercise unique is that they bring remitter so that they will input our name immediately with our promotion and increase the money that will be given to us without delay. And I want to appreciate Mr. Governor for making this a reality.
The 2025 promotion exercise is being carried out in 5 different centers with 1,700 candidates participating. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
And on the state, Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has emphasized the crucial role of accountants in promoting excellence. The governor spoke in Akure at the 6th session of the 2024 Mandatory Continuing Professional Development Program, the training program themed Sustainable Accounting and Economic, Social and Governance (ESG), convened a diverse group of accounting professional enable accounting in Nigeria. Abidemi Akerutoye reports.
It is the inauguration of the 6th session of the 2024 Mandatory Continuing Professional Development in Akure, Ondo State. The training signifies a major breakthrough in the relentless pursuit of professionalism and excellence within the economic, social, and governance principle in the accounting community in Nigeria. Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, represented by Commissioner for Education Laolu Akindolie, emphasized the vital role of the profession in ensuring transparency and responsible management of resources.
Governor Ondo State recognizes the importance of the accountancy profession. His contribution towards promoting probity and accountability in the public service of Ondo State. The accountant cadre is one of the professionalized cadre in the state. Civil service and officer cadre now rise to the career of their career. Recently, our administration appointed 4 permanent secretaries, 2 of which are officers for the accountant cadre.
Chairman of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, James Nemi-Nebo, spoke on the theme Sustainable Accounting and Economic, Social and Governance Reporting in Accountancy.
Sustainable accounting recognizes that an organization's success is not solely measured by financial performance. It considers the impact of business operations in the environment, society, and governance. This approach enables organizations to make informed decisions, manage risks, and leverage opportunities.
The state chairman of the association, Ayodele Ojo, also highlighted opportunities and the implication of training on transparency and accountability.
We should be able to link our report to our environment. We should be able to know what is going on in our environment. And we should be able to know what is going on according to governance. What are the government policies? How is it affecting our profession? How is it affecting our business? All these things were some of the things accountants need to know so that they will be guiding them.
Additionally, several accountants in attendance at the training session shared testimonies and highlighted the key achievements and impact of the program.
Talking about fraud, that we have so many types of fraud. He made mention of the examples and how to avoid them. Then if you come across something like that, how to handle it that will not affect you as a person or the organization you are working with.
No man could be traced if he's not trained. If you are not trained, you cannot be traced anywhere. This is training so that we can be traced in our field, in our professional field.
Other stakeholders said successful hosting of the 6th session of the program demonstrates ANAN's commitment to promoting continuous professional development and capacity building among accounting professionals in Nigeria. Abidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
You're still watching Osrc News at 7 after the break. House of Representatives probes customs over smuggling allegations. Please do join us for this and more. Thank you very much for joining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. President Bola Tinubu has received Chairman President Frank Walter Steinmeier at the Osrc Villa, Abuja. Steinmeier, who arrived in Abuja, was accompanied by a business delegation of CEOs and high-ranking board members of some of Germany's most successful companies in the fields of IT, high-tech, and energy. Steinmeier is the second German leader to visit Nigeria in 14 months and the third European leader to visit the West African state since the Russo-Ukrainian War began in February 2022. Within that period, the two nations have engaged in several bilateral agreements and collaborations, especially in energy and power. Tinubu and Steinmeier are expected to brief the press after the closed-door talks. Journalists have been tasked not to relent and set an agenda for leaders in Nigeria, as this remains key to the country's development. Guest speakers at the symposium organized by Nigerian Union of Journalists NUJ on the State Council gave the task during their presentation. Saeed Aribisala reported that the 2024 NUJ Press Week Symposium theme is setting the agenda amidst electioneering paradox and elusive economic development in Nigeria. The media as the fourth estate of the realm.
The opening ceremony of the 2024 NUJ Press Week in Ondo State was marked with a symposium held at the NUJ Press Center. The symposium, with the theme Setting the Agenda Amidst Electioneering Paradox and Elusive Economic Development in Nigeria. The media, as the fourth estate of the realm, brought together thought leaders, politicians, and media professionals.
All leaders.
Remarks by Chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists Ondo State Council Leke Adegbite, and Chairman of the NUJ Press Week Planning Committee Omoshilola Adesoye Ajayi set the tone for the engagement.
Under our watch, we facilitated more than 15 training workshops where at least 80% of our members have benefited from this effort.
For us to set agenda amidst electioneering paradox and elusive economic development.
Speaking on the symposium theme is a panel of individuals including former governorship candidate of the Zenith Labour Party, Dr. Abbas Mimiko, who noted that votes must count for democracy to enhance development in Nigeria.
Don't expect economic development where there is no accountability.
Also on the panel was All Progressives Congress stalwarts Olumu Adu, who urged the media to champion new ideas that will make society better.
Say it the way Nigeria can be better, not only reporting what you see.
The senator representing Ondo Central Senatorial District, Adeniyi Adegbomire, who was represented by Kayode Taiwo, noted that journalists must be guided by ethics, facts, and commitment to the nation's progress.
Continue to educate, expose whatever that is happening in our country.
The chairman on the occasion and lawmaker representing Ondo as well as the media to prioritize strategic planning for the success of the campaign.
Them also to do better than what they have been doing in reporting and also ensuring that they help us in shaping our policies.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who was represented by his Chief Press Secretary Ebenezer Adeniyo, said his administration is committed to positioning the media to promote the development of the state.
The government of Honorable Lucky Aiyedatiwa will continue to provide an enabling environment for media practitioners in the state to operate without any interference from government.
At the end of the engagement, Chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers in Ondo State, Ademola Odudu, received an award from the NUJ as a Distinguished Peace Ambassador of the Year.
Andy, we're in a new branding of NRTW, not as before. You can see it everywhere. I think this is why you see throughout the state local government during the election, there's no anything like breakdown for another. And since I'll be appointing people into branches and units in the whole local government, there's no any fracas anywhere.
The 2024 NUJ Press Week had earlier featured free medical outreach for journalists, veteran journalists, and their spouses. Saeed Aribisala, Osrc News.
The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate alleged smuggling activities by Nigerian Customs Service personnel. The House took the decision at a plenary session following the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by the member representing Badagry Federal Constituency, Lagos State, Mr. Oluwaseun Waingan. He argues that the integrity of the Nigerian Customs Service is essential for securing Nigeria's borders, facilitating legitimate trade, and upholding the economic and social well-being of the nation. The House further directed its Committee on Defense and Customs and Excise to examine the role of military personnel attached to custom personnel and ensure their operations comply with legal frameworks and human rights standards. An Allied air cargo aircraft suffered a tire burst, causing it to skid the runway 22 at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. Confirming the incident, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, in a statement explained that the runway has been temporarily shut down following the incident. The plane arriving in Abuja was involved in the incident upon landing, while all passengers and crew members were safely evacuated. The incident was said to have caused significant disruptions, with several departures delayed as authorities work to clear the affected runway. FAN, however, appreciated the aviation community and the general public for their understanding and patience. United States Embassy in Nigeria has reviewed its immigration visa processes for immigrants starting from January 1, 2025. The directive, which was announced on its official X page, stated that applicants with interviews will now visit the Consulate General in Lagos at least twice during the process. The embassy's website further revealed that the first visits to the U.S. Consulate in Lagos will be for an in-person document review by the consular staff member, adding that this review ensures that applicants are prepared for the visa interviews. We move to the foreign scene, and with the fall of Assad's government, many Syrian soldiers have crossed the border into Iraq. They are being hosted by Iraqi armed forces, and security has been tightened along the border with Syria. Aderunke Kolawole has the detail.
Iraqi security forces on high alert as they mobilize along the Syrian border. It was locked down ahead of the fall of Damascus to opposition fighters. On the run, more than 2,000 Syrian regular soldiers have crossed into Iraq through the Al-Qaim crossing since Friday, some with injuries, surrendering themselves and their equipment. But Iraqi officials are concerned about who else might slip through.
وأن نعالج كل الثغرات التي مكنت الإرهاب.
We must address all the gaps that enabled terrorism to infiltrate in 2014. Today we're following the events in neighboring Syria, and we are all hopeful that the countries of the region and of the world as a whole will assure responsibility to preserve the security and sovereignty of Syria. Terrorism came to Iraq across the border, and we defeated it with great sacrifices.
For now, Assad troops are being hosted by Iraq's armed forces, lodged in houses and tents near the border. Iraq is already home for more than a quarter of 1 million Syrian refugees, according to UNHCR. Most are civilians who fled after the uprising in 2011. Many Iraqis are concerned the latest development in Syria might impact their country.
Iraq needs sometimes to decide what to do with these troops. I think the Iraqi government won't mind sending them back home when things become clearer and safer for them, or through voluntary return. But on the other hand, I don't think they're allowed to remain in Iraq for long, because first of all, they've entered the country illegally, although Iraq has received them as guests because of the good relations with the Assad government.
Iran-aligned Iraqi armed groups fought alongside Iran and Russia to strengthen Assad's iron fist. They played a major role in defeating Syrian opposition forces in the years that follow the 2011 uprising. Aderunke Kolawole, Osrc News.
And still on the foreign scene, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has taken the stand for the first time in his long-running corruption trial, rejecting what it described as absurd allegations against him. Appearing at the crowded courtroom in Tel Aviv, the embattled Israeli leader said the charges leveled against him were an ocean of absurdity. Israel's longest-serving prime minister faces charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of public trust in 3 separate cases. He has consistently denied any wrongdoing. He took the stand for about 4 hours and will resume testifying. Blessing Obi tells us more.
5 years after his indictment on 3 separate corruption charges, Benjamin Netanyahu is finally appearing in court. Ministers of his party and right-wing coalition are attending in solidarity.
I'm sure of his innocence, and I'm sure that his innocence will be proven.
This is a polarizing case in Israel, fueling what Netanyahu's opponents say is his campaign to complete a judicial coup and undermine the press. In right-wing circles, anger for now is aimed mostly at the Attorney General, who brought the charges.
From my perspective, there is a volatile situation in the files here. And I'm also expecting from my colleagues, the ministers, not only to talk against the Attorney General, but also to send her home.
Outside the courthouse, a mixed crowd, supporters angry at what they say is a witch hunt against Netanyahu, and protesters also angry at what they view as the man's selfish campaign to stay in power at any cost, including the lives of captives in Gaza. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
And that concludes the news tonight, but before we go, a quick look at the major stories. We told you that the Ondo State government says